Thank you for checking in. This is PernellBobby, back at you with a brand new camera. I'm hoping that this works well. I lost mine in a taxi. That is what it is. Numbers, everything, projects prior that were already complete. So this is my way of just looking at it as God saying, look, son, it's time to start over again. The last time this happened to me was in Indonesia. The time before that was in Bangkok. And I'm notorious for losing things. That's just part of my lifestyle. But astrology has actually helped me understand where that actually comes from. And that's why I'm here today. Okay, I want to give you just a broad overscope. I'm not going to specifically focus on any one thing for too long. I'm going to try to go through it and what I consider to be somewhat of like the hierarchy of where and how you can dissect the study of astrology. Okay, so first it starts with astronomy. Astronomy is just the study of the stars and the placements of them, and potentially the effect of them. So you're going to have the sun and the moon, okay, we can see these things, but also Saturn, a little more difficult to see. Well, now we can with applications and stuff. Pluto, and that's just the study of the stars, okay? So the effect of the sun on the earth, how it feeds the planet, gives me life. Without the sun, we die, right? Okay, the moon and how it affects our emotions, these things are legitimate, okay? Now, astrology is more of the interpretation of what already exists in the sky, okay? So astronomy is real. It's a legitimate study. You can go to school, you can study it, you can get a telescope, you can look at it. Astrology is not so much factual as much as it is interpretation. Now, astrology and like a natal chart reading, which is what I've been doing, I had to close them for like a week and a half ahead of time because the schedule just went like who knew. So thank you all for checking in with the natal readings. If you want one, it's a really good time to get them because I promise you the price went up once already because I realized how much work it is, how much time I spend on just one person. It's going to go up again. So it's a good time to get in there. The link's down in the bio below. Thank you for checking in, subscribing. I want to give you this. Astrology, let me backtrack for 1 second. Just let you know why, okay? So my life has historically been one that just flips completely upside down. It just transforms in a way that's like, I pretty much always believed it was normal. But eventually one day I started realizing like, nah, some of these things really, quite frankly, are not normal. And I had to start really looking into it. And I first came across something called like INFP. Once I recognized I was an INFP based off the Myers-Briggs test, from there it began to evolve because I was like, there's these things about myself that I don't really like. And I've found better ways to start not just stopping out. I don't really like this about myself, but learning how to accept those pieces, learning how to understand that it creates an overall balance for me. And that is when astrology started giving me more insight because we're living in a world right now where, like, look, what you believing in is kind of being ripped apart, right? Whether it was religion, whether it was science, all types of stuff. So for me, I needed something as well that I have a scientist type mind, right? Like I am an observer. I observe things. I went to school and studied as an exercise physiologist, the science of it. So science is something that I really believe in, but I also know that science is only factual until it's proven otherwise, all right? So for me, especially within the realm of spirituality, all these intangible things, astronomy, the study of the stars, and then the interpretations being astrology, started giving me some grounding because naturally just a highly spiritual person. To the point where like, I don't remember half my childhood because I was living in a fantasy world. And like, I couldn't understand that. But once I started getting into this, it started making sense. So now that you know astronomy, astrology, let's get into the next stage, which is going to be the zodiacs, okay? So you're going to have 12 zodiacs. You all know this. You probably know what your zodiac is based off your sun sign. Everybody always does. So this is a video for beginners, okay? Now we know that based off of like, okay, I was born on April 14th. I'm an Aries. But you probably recognize that more things resonate than you just being an Aries. That's when I start realizing that each planet has its own zodiac. That's not to say that you cannot have another the same zodiac and a different planet. That's not to say that, no. Because I have my sun and my moon and my Mercury all within Aries. So it's like those areas of my life I'm going to recognize, like, yeah, I kind of behave somewhat like an Aries, if you will. But it can change. It could be an Aries, a Libra, an Aquarius. You can have so many different things, and you're going to have 12 planets. And even outside those planets, you're going to have more. Now, I'll explain that in a different time. So, okay, great. I'm an Aries in the form of my Mercury, my sun, my moon. Okay, let's take the moon for an example. How we process emotions, who we are in the dark, who we are when we're by ourselves, alone, no one's watching us, how we process those emotions, how we, basically what I just said, understand the more repressed side of our nature, the dark side of us, the one that we don't necessarily show to other people, or other people don't necessarily see off the bat. So then it goes into the houses, okay? So I'm going to spend a little time on the houses, 1 through 12. The first house is associated with Aries. Aries is associated with the self, okay? So think everything self. Think a forward-moving self. That's Aries. Second house has to do with money, values, possessions, okay? The value system that you have for yourself. Now, this is ruled by Taurus, okay? Taurus are the ones, they know themselves, let's just say. And, you know, they're very stable and steady when it comes to money. And they have a finer taste for possessions. The third house is going to be Gemini, the communicators of the bunch, okay? So Gemini in the third house is how we communicate. It's how we also process our rational thinking as well, or just thinking in general. It's how we process that thinking process and how we communicate. The fourth house is Cancer, okay? Also known as the family relations, you know, your upbringing, the motherly type instincts. That's the Cancer. That's the fourth house. The fifth house is going to be Leo. Leo is the kid of the zodiac, along with Aries here and there, yes. But Leo more so. They run the house of children and our childlike nature, our creativity, okay, our romance life. This is the Leo. Leos are the hearts of the zodiac. They literally are the heart of the sun, okay? The sixth house, we're going into Virgo now. So Virgo is a house where you're really looking into your health, your ability to organize things. Okay, you know Virgos, they're very organized type people. Your ability to organize, your ability to really, they are the medics of the zodiac, okay? They're the ones that they help everyone. They make everyone's lives better. Usually not their own, which is something to focus on for Virgo type energy. And they're very organized and methodical with their approaches. Okay, the seventh house, we're now talking marriage. So we're talking in Libra. Libra is the balance of the zodiac, the harmony, the peace. They always want balance. And as a part of that, we want balance in our partnerships, do we not? So this is not just romantic partnerships, but yes, primarily I believe so. This is also going to be partnerships in business. This is going to be partnerships in your friendships. And, you know, I partner is the theme of the seventh house. The eighth house is the Scorpio house. This is pretty much death, sex, taxes, shared resources. Okay, you've heard this probably before. Again, this is a video for the beginners that are stepping into this, so you can get a really good scope. And Scorpio is the one that pretty much dies and transforms. Okay, it's the one that is really good at managing other people's resources, whether it's property, whether it's money, a house, a will, hopefully not. This is you, okay? Death, sex, especially. It's the eighth house. The eighth house seems to have some sort of like a destructive property in a sense, but things need to die in order for new to come in. The ninth house is going to be higher learning. Not just necessarily university and school, but learning of a higher sense, especially within different cultures, okay? Especially within religion. Religion, culture, philosophy, this is all ninth house stuff. It rules the house of long journeys, so not just like, 10 minutes in your car. I'm talking go to Tokyo to Australia, Australia to the United States to here in Colombia. That is the ninth house, ruled by Jupiter as the planet, but I guess I didn't give you the planets that these are governing by. Who's the ninth house? Sagittarius. Sagittarius are the travelers. They're the philosophers. They are who they are, okay? The 10th house is now getting into the Capricorns. Capricorns are the workhorse. This is exactly what the 10th house stands for. It's our professional career, how we climb that ladder to success, okay? And with the Capricorn type energy, it's pretty much your public image within the workspace, within the professional life, within your career. The 11th house, plus a 1, is going to be the Aquarius, and these are the unconventional people, and as well as the people who run the groups. They are the kings and queens of networking, okay? You're around Aquarius, you will find yourself also around a group of people, okay? Because they bring a group. They network. They are the humanitarians of the bunch, okay? This is the 11th house. And what groups can bring to you. The 12th is the final house, and this is going to be ruled by Pluto, as well as who is in the 12th house? The Pisces. Now, the reason that Pisces is here is because Pisces have lived the entire Zodiac in a sense. They are a part of everybody. They are 1 through 12. They're the last one in the Zodiac. They are the dreamers of the bunch. They are the ones that transform. And they are pretty much, because they lived, they have a little bit of everything in them. So the 12th house controls and rules things like things that are hidden. Because Pisces, no, I lied. Pisces is in Neptune, the planet of fantasy. So forgive me, not Pluto. Pluto's transformation, that's Scorpio, in the 8th house. But the 12th is Neptune with Pisces. Pisces is the water mutable type sign, and as a part of that, Pisces is the dreamers of the bunch, okay? They're the fantasy. They're the people who are floating in everything except for reality. They're not very necessarily grounded, and as a part of that, the 12th house is ruling everything hidden treasures, hidden talents that we have. It's the karmic endings, right? It's also a house for higher learning, but not higher learning like the 9th house. Very different. 9th house is more like religion and philosophy. Higher learning in the 12th house is more associated with esoteric, spiritual knowings, right? Things that you can't always touch, things that are not tangible, just like Neptune in a sense. Fantasy. So that's the 1 through 12, and the houses, which zodiacs kind of fit in that. The last thing I wanted to give you as a part of this beginner's guide is cardinal signs, fixed signs, and mutable signs, okay? So there are going to be 3 zodiacs in each one of these. I lied, 4 zodiacs in each one of these. And let's just kind of go through them, okay? So there are 3 fire signs, 3 earth signs, 3 wind or air signs, and 3 water signs, okay? So for the water, you're going to have Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Water essentially is going to be the intuitive bunch, okay? They're ones with deep emotions that you may not necessarily always see on the surface. Cancer is going to be the cardinal sign. Cardinal signs are always going to be the forward go-getter aggressors, okay? Crabs are actually aggressive, whether you knew it or not. Scorpio is going to be the fixed signs. These are the people that are in their way. They're a little bit more difficult to change in a sense, but they do get things done, okay? They always get it done. They may be slow to start or not have the initiation to start, but they finish through to the end. The Cardinals, they're easy to start something up, okay? But they may not follow through. Now last is your mutable, and these are the people who are pretty much like wind, okay? They can always change. And that's going to be for the water signs, the Pisces. Always changing. We said that already. Neptune, dreamy, not really able to be touched. And with them, they're very good at navigating, but sometimes they can avoid things. They can go around things rather than dealing and facing with their problems. Okay? So that's what a cardinal, a fixed, and a mutable sign is about. Let's give you the fire. Aries, hello, this is me again. Is going to be in the cardinal space, okay? The go-getters may not finish things through all the way to the end. The Leo is the fixed here. We've already gave you that description, okay? And the Sagittarius, the last fire of the bunch, is going to be the... My legs hurt sitting down here like this. Oh my God. Oh, can I get a stretch? Oh, jeez. Okay, knees. Oh. you know, easy it is when you're a baby and you're sitting down in there and it's like, okay, I'm almost there. Sagittarius, the last one is the mutable. Now you have the wind. We're looking at Aquarius, who's going to be the fixed sign, okay? And you're looking at the Gemini, who's the mutable. You're looking at the final, which is the Libra, okay? The 7th house, the balance, the harmony. And they're going to be the cardinal. They're the cardinal signs, okay? And so that leaves now our Earth being Virgo as the mutable people, okay? We're looking at Capricorn. They are definitely the cardinal. They are the go-getters. They are the workhorse. They get the money, okay? And finally, you have, as a part of the last Earth, the Taurus. They are the fixed. They are the grounded. They are slow builders, but they do always get it done. Thank you for checking in. Hit that subscribe. Hit that like for me, please. This is the beginner's guide to astronomy, astrology, cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs. What the 1 through 12 houses are kind of about and what Zodiac placed inside of them. And the fact that, you know, if you feel and you know, okay, I'm a Scorpio, I'm a Gemini, but I don't feel fully like a Gemini, get a natal reading with me. Let's dig a little bit deeper and you're able to schedule that. You'll see the link down below. I appreciate you for that effort. Hopefully there's camera quality and video. This is my first time using this brand new phone. Had to drop the $500 impromptu. But, you know, I'm accepting this as another reason to be grateful, another reason that God's saying, look, I'm moving some things, some people, some circumstances, some habits out of your life, and I'm taking that full-heartedly. Astrology is something that really helped me to really dive into the different areas of my life that aren't necessarily just Aries based, you know, the different cancers that are in my blood, the different Scorpios that are within me, the Aquarius that's within me as well. And then things started to make sense. My life started to seem less like an accident, less like, you know, things are happening to me and more like they're happening for me. So thank you for your subscription. Hit that button, please. If at bare minimum, or you want to go help a brother out, go ahead and book yourself a natal reading. I love you. I appreciate you. Ah, look at my crystal. Ah. Oh, my knees. Okay. Oh.